everyone. My name is Jeanette Ramos, and I'm the founder and CEO of It Takes a Village Housing. It Takes a Village Housing is a nonprofit organization geared towards helping mothers get the services that they need to raise their children. It's going to provide not only drug treatment services for our mothers, but mentors for our children, home economics for our mothers. This is going to be a one-stop shop that's going to provide for our families. Drugs and alcohol seem to be a big part of our society, and how we eradicate that will be based upon what we do for this population. We're always looking for donations. Help us out with those donations. Anything that you can give would be a great help. We're always looking for beds. We're looking for toiletries. We're looking for money. And anything that you can provide us would be of great help. So if you're willing to provide this population with a second chance at life, check out my website at ittakesavillage1.org, or you can email me at ittakesavillagmom@gmail.com. Here's to It Takes a Village Housing, and I look forward to meeting with each and every one of you.
You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Thank you for joining me, your hostess, Dominique Rivera, and I am the Oracle of Apollo, and you are watching Divine Encounters. Thank you so very much, everyone, for being here on this beautiful Wednesday night. You guys already know this is not a passive viewing experience, but one where I invite you to play fully out and shift your energy by the end of this feed. These conversations are meant to be thought-provoking, eye-opening, and bringing impossibilities to possibilities. So before we get into anything else in the program, I invite you to have your high-quality H2O with you during every feed. And to your health, wealth, and prosperity. You guys already see I was already hydrating. Hydration is your friend. So yes, make sure you have a very good relationship with this friend. If you have a supernatural story, make sure you email me at divineencounters@e360tv.com. If it's something miraculous, inspirational, and you feel like this message just needs to be heard with the world, I want to know about it. Also, don't forget to join my Facebook group, The Seekers Challenge Room, where I post a weekly adventure. So this way you can embody the energy of manifestation, fun, and it's summertime. This is literally the energy for fun and adventure. And don't forget, if you'd like to have meditations or want to do a group meditation with us, you can join for free my meetup group at meetup.com/Awaken Philadelphia. All right, let's bring on our guest for the night. We're going to be talking all about soulmates tonight, when they come in, when they leave, and everything in between. So throw your hearts up. Make sure if you're watching this on the replay, you put that hashtag replay and throw up that heart. And here we go. Let's bring him on. Hello, Mr. Igor. Thank you for being here.
Hey, Dominique. How are you?
Fine. And you have the fancy new studio all set up. It was made for this moment.
Yes, we do.
Let everybody at home know a little bit about you and what you're bringing. Well, a little bit about you, and then later what you're bringing to the table.
Okay, so a little bit about me. I am intuitive, multidimensional healer, traveling different dimensions and realities, working with different energies as far as tapping into different multidimensional fields as energy bodies, working with extraterrestrial energies as well as elementals. So this has been a journey for me since 2004, and it's been a wonderful journey and lots of different encounters that come through. So this journey has allowed me to become balanced in this 3D reality as well as balance in the other realms of existence and merge them together into one. That is the key of balance within the mind and the heart. And once we get to that, now we become the masters of our electromagnetic field that allows us to magnetize the reality that we really truly want to experience in our lives.
Well, that is definitely a mouthful. So we're going to be breaking this down. You probably have people at the edge of their seats right now. Multi-dimensional reality. Healer. What does this even mean? Oh man, we can make like 15 episodes just around Igor. I'm telling you guys. Igor, I like to start off every episode with raising the vibration and bringing just like a collective message in to inspire everyone before we jump into the experience. Mr. Cooper's joining us today, everybody. Oh, he just fell. Do you need help, bud? My little old man. Hold on, because if not, he will cry the entire time he's back here. All right. So with that being said, let's jump into our first experience. And to that, I'll say, what's good? Before I start explaining the message of this card to you, Igor, Spirit picks these cards, and it's not like I'm picking them, but I do know what this card means, and I thought it was very aligned with the topic that we're about to have. So let's go ahead and see all about the Page of Emotions. Okay, ladies and gents, here is the Page of Emotions. This is the mid message for the week. And she says, there's so much magic in the world, and the Page of Emotions knows how to expect it. For expecting it is akin to seeking it in the everyday, and seeking it in the everyday in the mundane is the key to seeing it everywhere. There are universes of powerful truth to be found in the internal horizons of our being. So deeper down her own rabbit hole of history and feelings she dives. She begins to understand that the synchronicity, the spots today is a result of energy and priming she has sent out into the biosphere yesterday. She uses this technology of magic to create her path, always remaining childlike and playful as she imagines her future. She lives less goal-oriented and more heart-driven. She invites you to be surprised by the beautiful serendipity in your world today and to use that inspiration as a starting point for your next move. Start with a little light releasing of control. And then here is the poem, tiny poem. Living a magical life is a choice. Period. Okay. Igor, how are you feeling about the Page of Emotions today?
100%. Living a magical life is a choice. I love that card because that card shows you the synchronicity, the connection between the heart and the second chakra. There is a balance between those two that we definitely need to acknowledge and understand. I love that it depicts the fish because it is the waters that need to be purified in order for the heart to blossom. So therefore, our magnetization starts to come from our higher self instead of the lower chakras of desire.
I could not have said that better myself. I love that. I love that. And for me, this just feels like it's speaking to me. People ask me all the time, like, you just laugh so easily. Like, you're just fun and effervescent. And I'm like, this is the work of joy. This is the work of joy. You can't sit here and be like, man, I really just have to get to this next step, because you're just going to put resistance and blocks all over everywhere. So you have to find humor. I like to call it cosmic humor. You have to find cosmic humor in your day-to-day and just laugh. And the funny thing about laughter is that the more you do it, it's like priming your brain to do it more often. So be spontaneous, find the synchronicities. And I love that the angel blessing today is actually in alignment with the message card, We have Angel Gabriel blessing the collective with synchronicity. So in and of itself, there's synchronicity. Throw some hearts up if this message resonated with you today, everybody. And we're so happy to have you here. Make sure you're claiming that angel blessing right there in the comment section below, because the angels always want to work with you, but they respect your free will. And I know I'm claiming that for myself for sure here. Love it. All right. So we're going to be jumping now into this next segment, which is basically us first checking in. And Igor is going to be checking in with us, and you guys at home should also be checking in, because this is for you as well. And what we're going to do is we're going to ask ourselves in this moment, where am I at energetically in this moment from 1 to 10? 1 being this is the least amount of energy I can hold. 10 being this is the most amount of energy I can hold. So where are you? So everybody just check in for a second and put that in the comment section below now. Okay, Igor, where are you at energetically in this moment?
I'm always at a 10.
I'm always at a 10. I'll claim that. I feel like I was pretty tired today because I've been hitting that gym hard. And then this morning I woke up and I was just like, I was dead. And I was just like, okay, today's a walk day. Today is not a full body day. But I've been like at a 5 all day. And then right before this feed, I jumped up. So I'm like at a 9.2. That's where I'm at right now. So where are you guys at home from 1 to 10? Let me know in the comment section below. What we're going to be doing is a mindfulness moment. You're going to hear a bell go off. And Igor and everyone at home is going to be closing their eyes for 1 full minute. We're going to run a timer right here on the screen. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the prompt words from our card for today, the page of emotions. And we're going to take a page from her. Pun intended. And we're going to go ahead and breathe in these key words. So here are the key words for the message for the midweek. And it is serendipitous joy. Ouch, I'm already there. Synchronicity, creativity, playfulness, finding new possibility, unexpected magic, opportunities to refresh and rejoice, a mystical and poetic energy. Ooh, mystery. A youthful and imaginative person. All right, so these are our prompts. We got our homework. Go ahead, place your feet firmly on the floor. Make sure your spine is erect, and let's get to it. Everyone's eyes are closed, 60 seconds on the clock, breathing in a beautiful energy of joy, and let that enter into any aspect of your body that it so chooses. If you start to feel tension anywhere in your body, just breathe into that tension and let that joy expand through any aspect of yourself, any resistance, and just exhale, letting go of what no longer serves you. On your next natural inhale, we're going to breathe in that playfulness, inviting the cherubs in now. And on the exhale, letting go of any rigidity, what I'd like to call the King of Swords energy, and just letting all that rigidness, that boxing ourselves in, and letting all of that go in this moment in time. Last and final breath in, bring in that mystical, poetic energy, that youthful imagination, and just let that go ahead and expand within you. Let it expand outside of yourself. And we're going to bring a moment of gratitude to ourselves. And we're going to bring that left and that right palm to touch one another in front of our heart space. And just thank ourselves for being present and filling of our own cup. And namaste to everybody at home. You can gently open your eyes, coming back to the here and now. And let us know what you are feeling from 1 to 10. If you felt anything shift, hot, cold, resistance, maybe you cough, maybe you burp, maybe a little tear came down your eye, maybe you saw colors, or maybe you felt something unusual, put it in the comment section below. We want to know. And then let us know, what number are you on now from 1 to 10, 1 being the least amount of energy, 10 being the most amount of energy. Igor, where are you at now, and what did you feel?
Wonderful. It was powerful. Felt lots of clearing around the head. Obviously, we have busy days every day, and we have to kind of tune into ourselves and clear all the thoughts and the debris that are around us in our energetic field. So thank you for that.
You're so welcome. And I feel energy vortexing down into my third eye. I also felt the cherubs come in. It made me want to just start cracking up. I was just like, no, don't unconditionally laugh right now. This is not the moment, but I'll take the energy and it feels good. I feel like I'm up to 9.8. I'm sure it'll keep escalating as the rest of the program progresses. So that's where I'm at. So thank you for that. All right, ladies and gents, you guys already know what's happening next. We're going to be jumping into the supernatural story time segment of the show. And today is all about soulmates. So let's see what we get into. And I'm looking forward to it. Me and Igor have no idea what we're talking about today, but it's just going to unfold, and whatever said is said and as it should be. And I feel like that's just how it is. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so here you are at supernatural story time. Yes. So Igor, where do we even start with this topic? Let's talk about what soulmates are. Let's just talk. I feel like we've talked about this in previous episodes before, but let's talk just this tiny little bit of what soulmates are and why are they here?
Okay, so soulmates is basically anybody can be a soulmate, right? But in the spiritual community, we are striving towards something. So you're becoming more aware and conscious. Now you're creating yourself a theme that you want to experience in life. With that, now that you're becoming conscious, your soul wants you to experience it to its fullest capacity. Now, we also have the effect from here, our personality, to have certain desires. So the soul hears us in that. And then we start to attract or magnetize a soulmate. A soulmate is somebody that you have the same goals, the same mission in life. So soulmates come together. It is gentle, it is soft, it is not rushed. And you will kind of just start playing into it. This is the soulmates. They take proper steps. They are cautious. They are working with one another to catalyze in a gentle way. Now, there's also twin flames. Twin flame is more powerful. This is more, you can say, they come in to experience life in a much more intense way, and you will feel that right away. You will feel that in your whole being, because the twin flame energy, it is, you can say, a soul that has split itself into two fractals to have its experience on this 3D reality. So meaning that you had past lives with this person. They're very deep, lots of learning, lots of wisdom, lots of exploration, lots of realization and spiritual growth happens with it. Because the twin flames catalyze one another to go up in vibration, and they will push through the fears one another to see how high you can go. Now, what happens with that is usually the twin flames come in for a certain period of time to learn something from one another. And you can make it complex, or you can make it easy by listening to your intuition and acting upon that instead of the feeling and the emotion that goes through, because the emotional part of the twin flames is very intense. It is arousing in all levels, mentally, emotionally, sexually, spiritually, because it's a magnetic field that two are coming together, and there is no other universe out there but besides them too. It is completely multi-dimensional experience, because now that those two beings came together, the twin flames, they are colliding universes. And when those two universes collide, no others exist, because they are vibrating at such a high frequency that every touch, every sensation, every thought is communicated telepathically. There is no to express, because the vibrations are so deeply intense. Through those processes, the person or the people that are going through this, there's lots of realizations. There is reprogramming of DNA that takes place during that time period. Refragmentations takes place. The DNA structures actually start to shift within the physical body, because they catalyze your ancestral lineage as well as they catalyze your mental patterns, your emotional patterns, your everything that has to do with your spirit as well. So
How does it catalyze your ancestral patterns?
so our the patterns that we have today is passed over by our ancestors, right?
Okay.
And some of them that we have picked up we're not even aware of, and we act a certain way, we respond a certain way, we think a certain way. But why are we here? We are here to break away from those lower vibratory fragments that we have adapted from our ancestors, which is programmed in our DNA, in our tissue, in our cells. The twin flame comes in and catalyze you to break away from that old paradigm and reconstruct a new DNA pattern by infusing the other. So you basically have her DNA and his DNA. The spirit itself starts to infuse and change and exchange energies in order to create a wholeness.
Hmm.
So it wants you to let go of these patterns. So you're actually healing your ancestral physical DNA. And at the same time, you're upgrading the DNA of the spirit.
I've heard some people say, well, twin flames means it's going to be toxic. Can you touch on that?
The reason it's toxic is because both twin flames come together and they have to realize their faults, their negativities, their mismatching energies. So they will catalyze one another. In the beginning, it will be so beautiful, so profound, but with time, each individual has to do their own work. So let's say twin flames come together, the male will trigger the female and the female will trigger the male in their fears, and you have to learn how to overcome them. And it's not responding from the mind, it is responding from the heart. If we are mismatching in the vibration of the heart and we start thinking from the process of the mind and how we're taught to respond, you will go through battles, not with that
Mm.
person, but with yourself. And no matter what happens, we have to know how to let go of things in a harmonious way, because how you close one door shows how you will open another.
Right. That makes
So the
perfect sense.
energy patterns, what you're happening is a perfect realization moment. And one will play a villain, one will play a victim, or vice versa. One will be at a higher vibration than the other. And it has to come from the point of the heart space. This is twin flames. They come together, they realize the love of the soul, not just the physical love. It is not that love that we know, oh, I love you. No, it is a love to embody that you know you are love. And that is the mission, is to stay in that vibration. This is what twin flames do. They bring that vibration to one another so they can realize that and stay in that frequency. It is not the frequency of the physical aspect where we know what love is. Okay? It is embodying love itself.
Right. That makes sense. And I was listening to Teal Swan and she was talking about love with the capital L. And she was saying that when we love someone, it is, I love you so much that I will prioritize your needs as if they were my own, but that does not say I will prioritize your needs and ignore mine. It is almost as if saying, if I were to take an action against you that harmed you, I am inherently harming myself. And that is love. And that we need to see through the lens of I love you so much that if I were to come here and I bomb this place, I'd be bombing myself. I'd be harming myself. I'd be hurting myself.
Yeah.
So twin flames don't have to be toxic as long as the people are working on themselves or working toward the same goal.
Correct. So the twin flames have to realize them. Okay, this is comes. It's triggering me. Okay, let me see what I need to learn from this. What is the experience? How do I see the positivity out of this? What is this belief system or emotion that I have that I need to let go, transform, transmute? And this is what I mean that has to do with ancestral, because this is how your ancestors responded to these things, and as well as our society. So you have to constantly update and elevate yourself from a higher perspective to respond to these triggers.
So there might be some people out there who are listening to this and go, wait a minute, but it sounds like I want a twin flame and not really a soulmate since I'm getting all these additional perks. Can you still have the intensity of the twin flame with the soulmate?
Yes, you can. But the twin flame, there is a soul involvement, a very deep soul involvement, meaning it goes into the multidimensional self, meaning it goes into your galactic experiences through your past lives or your future lives, which are experiencing at the same time. So what happens is you're an electron, you start to vibrate at a certain frequency. Now, wherever you are vibrating at that same frequency in all different dimensions, that same love that you're experiencing, you're merging them all together. So all of that is coming together now. It becomes very intense and very powerful. So not everybody gets to experience that. It has to do with your inner work. You have to do your inner work, and then the universe will provide that. It will give you that other, basically your match. In order for you to get to that, it is not something that you ask. It is something that happens naturally. It is, you're just not even thinking about it, and all of a
I feel
sudden,
like people are
boom.
rolling their eyes at this. It doesn't happen to me. Why hasn't it happened to me? So can we talk a little
Because
bit on those people who are like, why? Why has it? Why? I thought I had it, but then it's gone. Can we talk about that a little bit?
so they thought they had it. Well, the thing is that we have to do the work on ourselves first. It's not about the other person. It's about you. And the other person comes into your energy field to assist you, to help you rise higher in vibration. So when you focus on something, we have to understand how energy works. When you focus on something and you want that, like I want that twin flame, I want to experience this divine love and this arousal in my life, to have an orgasmic experience every day. The more you ask for it, the more you're pushing away. So you have to let go of it, and you have to work on yourself in order to magnetize that reality to you, and the universe will provide it. So my thing is not asking for your twin flame, asking for your soulmate, where you can grow into that. Things
Mm-hmm.
that are happening really fast will end really fast. So allow the growth process to take place into it. It is very important to understand our sexuality, our desires, our sexual energy, and how it all operates, and what is it really for. Because we're just thinking of the orgasm, but it's not just an orgasm. It's an orgasm of the soul. It is not having sex. It is making love. And love is actually a healing tool. It's a process that goes through your physical body, through your energy bodies, through your soul, through your oversoul, into the source itself, because the orgasm is so high. And that what creates that love making is because that seed of the big bang that happens is within those two people. You need a positive and negative charge. You need a female and male.
So
And this
wait a minute. So are there naked people in this situation scenario or no? I mean, I just asking for a friend.
So it gets deep, and there's so much to talk about this. I mean, we can talk about this for days. There's a whole process of love making, of communication, of understanding, of emotion, and has to do with your causal body as well.
Oh wow. I think we're gonna have to make a separate episode just about the lovemaking and the causal body, because I feel like that's gonna be like on people's tongues right now. I'm gonna get hashtag replay causal body. You guys want Igor to come back and talk about this? Put it in the comment section below. So this is all very interesting and fascinating. What are some things? So in the law of attraction, it's like you have to focus on what you want to obtain, and maybe we make a vision board. How can I make a vision board and have a desire and calibrate to something that I'm supposed to let go of?
Vision boards are great for business, not for personal. I think so. For personal, you have to work on yourself. This is where we have meditation. Meditation, you go within yourself, and meditation, you start to break away the patterns that no longer serve you. You want to disconnect, reconstruct yourself like a cubed Rube. Once you start doing that, that's when the universe will naturally start sending you these people. It doesn't work like, okay, I want this. Yes, write it down, see what you want, make notes of it. Now, is that coming? You have to ask yourself, is that coming out of my ego, personality? Does it want to satisfy me, or is it in my highest and best interest? What is it that I'm asking for? And when you ask that question to yourself, then you'll see, okay, this is for personal pleasure. This is not for my divine development. Okay. So once you
Mm.
start to understand what is this for, then the universe starts answering back to you, and it will happen instantaneously because it is in alignment with your higher self. A lot of times we have ideas, desires, right? And if they're coming with a strong emotion, sometimes they might be coming from your personality. But sometimes you get visions and ideas that come to you and they're very subtle, no emotion. That is the message that's coming from your higher self. And usually it happens when you're at a peaceful state. And when that comes in, pay attention to that because that is your intuition speaking to you, letting you know this is what is coming for you. This is who's coming. This is what you're going to experience. But what we do, we don't pay attention to those subtle thoughts. That's what we need to pay attention to because we're so used to paying attention to hard emotions or mental patterns that are constantly running through our mind. And once we learn how to pay attention to that gentleness, that is the manifestation process. That is the magnetization of reality.
So when it comes to manifesting your person and you're meditating, you start to see someone and you're like, oh, I don't know who that is. It's just some subtle energy that's coming in, bringing me visions, not really connected to my emotions. How can I know it's the right person? Can I manifest a wrong soulmate?
I don't think, does God make mistakes or the universe make mistake? Never. Every single person that comes into your life is an experience. So if you look at it as, okay, I'm going to do this and then see what happens. No, you have to respond from your intuitive side. You have to respond from your heart space, not your lower chakras, from your heart space. These are two different things because a lot of time people start responding from the lower chakras and say, oh, that was so much love. No, that was an arousal. That was a one night stand. Oh, that was an experience. That was not a divine experience. A divine experience, you will feel it. Trust it. The whole part of this is learning how to trust the experience. You see a person, visualize it, right? You do not know how they're going to look exactly, but vibrationally, that's what they're going to represent for
Right.
you. And you let go of that, completely let it go, forget about it, and do what is needed at that moment. Live in that moment. Next thing you know, it comes right at your doorstep, and you're like, wow, I think I've seen you, or I think I know you. What is this? And sparks start going off and it's all natural. It is very important to know how to let go of things because the mind likes to hold on to stuff. And when it clinges onto stuff, it actually doesn't allow it to come into your energy fields because the electromagnetic field does not have the logic that we have in this physical reality.
Right.
Because we have a logic like, okay, we're going to start building a house. You have to put a foundation in, then you have to put the walls, plumbing, blah, blah, blah. You have a whole structure. In the 5D reality, it doesn't quite work like that. It doesn't have a logic. It has frequency and vibration. So if you're matching that frequency vibration, it will pull something for you across the universe in order for you to experience that here and now. So it could be across the country, across the world, and you'll never know, but you trust. You trust that the universe is going to bring you that match, that experience in your life.
So can we talk a little bit about some personal things, but we don't have to say names or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've been talking. We're friends, right? My friend right there.
Yes.
So we've been talking about this topic for a little while now because you recently have gone on an experience because you were led to meet someone who could have potentially been your soulmate, and you went across the ocean or across the water or to different. I think it was Mexico, and it wasn't exactly what you thought it could be, right? So it's like, let's talk about when we do get those signs, symbols, messages, and then we go explore it. And then maybe our humanity is like, wait a minute, this isn't correct. And we know that universe doesn't make errors. So it's kind of like, if I meet someone and there's no sparks, but I've been seeing them in my meditations or something for a while, then what? Then what? Do I keep going? Am I broken? Is there something wrong? Like, what's going on with that?
So there's always a lesson in something. Anything that happens, there's some sort of an experience that you need to uh, extract the experience that allows you to elevate yourself. So, yes, there are so many different timelines. What we need to understand is once being intuitive and seeing different parallel realities and timelines of what can happen. Like, I'll see a person and I can see what's happening in their energy fields, and then I can see the experiences that we had in past life or parallel realities. And then you can see, like, oh, okay, we're going to have this experience for this period of time. Like, let's say for the next 3 weeks. The next 3 weeks, I see that we're going to be experiencing something, but there's an obstacle coming. And then how we respond to that obstacle allows us to open up the timelines further. So this is all basically about timelines. So the universe says, here you go, a person. And you come together and you start working with this person. You start to explore. Okay. So it might not work, but the emotion might step in, the mental patterns might step in, and you might have a reaction. Those are all physical things, right? But we have to go beyond that. We have to go into the energetic play. So why are these two people come together? When two people come together, their energies start to intertwine. So now their separate DNAs structures start becoming one DNA structure. They're uniting. What we call marriage on the physical, on the spiritual level, once you're intimate with that person, that is considered marriage.
Sacred union.
Yep, that is it. Because that is very sacred. This energy is very sacred for males and females. It's very important to understand how to use it and not just to spend it. So, coming in together, you say, okay, I'm going to have this experience. Now I see what this is for. We're learning from one another. We're both spiritual. We're both aware of the timelines that are presented to us. But we see the future potential as well, going to 2, 3 years, 4 years in the future of timelines if we stay together. Now, do we choose that? It's exciting. Yes, we decided to choose it. But then event occurs. And if we respond emotionally based on our previous experiences of this life, you're cutting away the timeline because your response was not from the updated vibratory state, but from an old paradigm of fear of losing or judgment or insecurities. And all those negative aspects start to interfere into your path. So if you do not overcome them, then that reality slips away from you because you're not ready to experience that high vibration that you have visioned in your higher belief system.
So when this occurs and basically we're not in harmony with the correct or person or they're sitting there in their past, when this happens and we're noticing this happening, are we losing out by not choosing to try to drive through that?
Never you're losing. That's the thing that we have to understand. You are never losing. The universe doesn't lose. The universe looks at everything as an experience. So you came together, you had a magnetic exchange with one another, you learned something. We can very easily look on a person and say, this is this, and we can judge them, right? It's the most easiest thing. But we have to learn how to see the positive benefits that we have experienced. In this lifetime, I went with 2 twin flames. I had two twin flames already experiences. People say, no, there's only one. Not true. You can have several twin flames experiences based on your soul's vibration. So the 2 experiences that I had were both sudden, out of nowhere, no expectations of it, did not even think about it, and was not even looking for a relationship, did not even want to be in a relationship. Okay, I was like, that's it. I'm just going to be a monk. I'm going to sit in meditation. That was it. After, sitting for 4 years in meditation, after coming back into this physical reality, I was like, okay, if it happens, it happens. And boom, out of nowhere, it's like, whoa, what is this? You have this great experience, and you have to take what you learned. You have to take what you opened up, the qualities that were given to you into your heart space, the qualities that opened your emotion, and you did the same to the other. So we have to take away the positivity. If you stay with that negative, then you're going to repeat that into your next relationship until you let it go. So in relationships, in a way, it's very hard to say they're long-term or they're forever. They're experiences. In other dimensions, there is no my partner. Everybody is intuitively interacting. It is not interaction of, oh, you look hot, let me have you. No, it's interaction of matching vibrations. So when we step into that field of the higher thought process, we're no longer just looking at people to mate. We're looking at people. What is the experience of exchange of love, and how can I expand my heart space?
Beautiful. Real quick, we have 3 more minutes left on this segment. Is there anything you want to drop off to people, or a tidbit, or like a tip on how people can expand their heart space?
The heart space is very important. We're always focusing on the heart chakra in the front, but we have to work. There's several key components in the heart space, right? We have the heart space doesn't just come in the heart in the front. There's also the heart space in the back and the thymus, the upper heart. The upper heart needs to be balanced because it's connected to your inner child. That is the emotional side. When you have the whole heart space balanced, it is important to also expand your heart in front of you. There are layers of chakra systems that go in front of you, maybe about a foot or two. And if you are interested in that, there are meditations that I have on that on my YouTube channel, or you can go to my other platforms to see all these different tools that I recommend for people. The heart in the front and the heart in the back. So we have to learn how to open up the wings. When we say wings in the back of the heart, there is a chakra system that goes into your emotional body in the back. So even if you're sitting right now watching this, take a moment right now, bring awareness to the back. If you feel heaviness there, if you feel pressure there, that is the heart space that needs to open up, which connects to the spirit, from the spirit to the soul, and from the soul to the oversoul. When those heart energies are open, you are no longer seeking for outside love. You are seeking the love of your soul. And then the universe starts to give you that other partner based on the vibration of your own love. Otherwise, you are desiring things from the physical mind, which is forcing things to happen, and they don't last. You might manifest it, they will come into your life, you'll have that 1 second experience, and they leave, right? Because it was mentally forced into it. But if you allow the heart to flow through it, it will come to you naturally.
Beautiful. Would you like to let everybody know the name of your YouTube channel and where they can get a hold of you? And I'll put a banner at the bottom.
Sure. You can go to my website, igorgalbov.com, Igor Galbov on Instagram, and Igor Galbov on TikTok, as well as YouTube channel is Alignment of Light. So Alignment of Light on the YouTube, and I do post meditations there on the heart and immune system activations and many others. So you guys can take a look at that. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of more information coming up.
Yes, this was fantastic. Thank you for sharing this little story with us and filling us in on all of these wonderful energies that we can be accepting, bringing into our life, letting go out of our lives. So we're going to be jumping into our next segment here, which is our question of the day. And this is for you, Igor, and for everybody at home. So let's make you guys think a little bit. Let's go. Alrighty, so our question of the day is, what are my most important values and how are they reflected in my life and in my daily decisions? I know it's a hard one. So this is for everybody at home. Make sure you're putting your comment in the comment section below, or you will see this question in this week's Seekers Challenge room so that you guys can ruminate on it a little more. But the idea behind answering these questions is to learn more about yourself. Okay, so Igor, what is your answer for this question?
Staying in my alignment. That is the most important value. The most important value is staying in your alignment, listening to your intuition on daily basis, on everything that you do. All decisions have to come naturally from your higher self. And that integration into that moment of now allows you to always make a decision that always guides you towards your highest and best. Even if you do not feel that you made that decision, trust that it is. And that is important to walk away with every day, that you did value yourself.
What do you think is how can we tell that we are making the correct decisions for ourselves? Because some people are just like, I just don't know. I'm just in this, mental space of clutter. I'm uncertain, or maybe I'm just too afraid to take action. How do I know when I'm making the right choice for me?
I say this: if you feel cloudy, don't make a decision. Give it some time. Walk away. Give yourself a time to contemplate, sit with yourself, sit in that meditative state, not thinking about that part, but thinking about kind of clearing your energies, clearing yourself. Once you clear yourself and you find that peacefulness, that stable part within yourself, in that alignment, then you can ask yourself that question and make a decision. The other tool that I like to use is very simple: is we have two hands. If you're having a hard time making a decision, visualize in one hand one decision on right side, and the left side the other decision. And just soon as you kind of a yes and a no, or a left or right, should I make, let's do this as an example. Okay, should I have chicken nuggets or should I have French fries, right? Type of a deal. So you visualize on one side, one decision, chicken nuggets, and the other side, French fries. And you'll see what lights up in your hands. Which one is more brighter? Not the best, not the best comparison, but just out of there, comparing in the left and right hand, see which one lights up better. And you'll make a decision based on that intuition. Allow that spark to guide you.
Perfectly said. Thank you, friends, so much for all of your time and your energy. We're going to pop you back into the back room. Help yourself to some coconut water while you're back there. We're going to bring you right back. You guys already know that Igor is here to help and be of service. So if he resonates with you're resonating with his message, go ahead and hit him up on his website. Good morning, Rick. And we're going to be jumping now into what we call the midweek collective energy check-in. This is basically a reading for all you beautiful souls out there to help inspire and elevate you, empower you for the middle of the week. It is hump day, and we know our humps may be hurting. So let's go ahead and fill ourselves back up with an intuitive message. Okay, I am absolutely loving this card because we're starting off with the Hermit, and the Hermit is saying, spend time alone in quiet meditation, spiritual teaching, and self-discovery. Just like Igor was just saying, it's all about quieting that mind, making sure you're not making any decisions from a place of confusion or a place of uncertainty or cloudiness. So it's very important here to go ahead and spend time alone. And this looks differently for everybody. Some people go, well, I can't sit and meditate, but you can take a walk in the woods and just be mindful of the sun, be mindful of the trees, feel your feet on the earth. You doesn't have to be just sit. Okay. Not everybody is versed in just sitting and doing nothing, but there are other ways. The thing about this is find a way to shut down your browsers, to be with yourself, and to be able to hear your insights and your intuitive knowings. I like this. We have the wise one, grow within your current situation. And I recently had pulled this card up not that long ago. And it's basically saying when you are sitting in that space of recognition, reflection, quiet stillness, is going to allow you to have this superpower of wisdom. Wisdom is the ability to understand something and be able to see it from all sides. Is this going to work? Is it going to have longevity? Do I recognize within myself that I'm capable of it? So this is a deeper knowing than just a little thought. Our animal for the midweek collective is Panda Bear. Enjoy the sanctuary of solitude to regain self-esteem and tranquility. So Spirit's basically just yelling at us as a collective. You guys need to go sit and be alone. So invite Panda into your energy field if you like to work with any kind of totem animals. And you can not just invite them in verbally, but if you eat like a panda type of meal, you can embody the energy of panda. So pandas are mostly herbivore. So eating yourself some nice fresh, well, I wouldn't say leaves, but maybe some lettuce and some greens will allow you to embody this panda energy. You could also use the visual representation of the panda totem somewhere on your screensaver. Maybe you have a totem that you can put in your pocket of panda, but bring this energy in to allow yourself to sit still, be quiet, and be reflective. We have Gaia, the Earth Mother here. Loving this. This is all about nurturing the self, being the mother to yourself. And I like this because when we sit and we're in a reflective state, we're allowing ourselves to be gentle. We're allowing ourselves to soften. We're allowing ourselves to be vulnerable. It's very feminine being just passive and being in that receptive state. Here we have give without expectation. And I really want to say that this is more what I'm feeling about this intuitively. This is more about giving to ourselves. So sometimes I'll hear people say, well, when I meditate, then what? What do I get out of that? Meditate until you feel calm, until you feel peace. You don't have to necessarily have the answer to any questions or have an epiphany or have a vision. As long as you feel rested, you relax or at peace, you did exactly what you strive for. In that moment of surrender, in that continuation of being in that flow, eventually you'll have your answers or you'll have your visions or you'll have information coming in. But not striving for that is going to allow you to be in a state of surrender and not in a state of resistance. Our next part of the evening here is going to be Undying Love from Isolde. And we're talking about love today. We're talking about not that physical love, but that divine love. The love you have shared is eternal, regardless of the situation. And as we're talking about soulmates and twin flames, I feel like this is very in alignment because this is all about letting you know that once you have that DNA connection, that soul connection, you magnetize them into your field, and energetically you have had love with them, you have made love with them. That love continues. It continues to expand. It continues to reverberate. It's not just the one and done. And even if you separate from this person in the physical, that love continues to expand through the lessons that you were learning. We have here the Wheel of Fortune. Now is a time for change. Fortunate change right here on the horizon for many people. This could be at the ending of a situation and jumping into a new situation. But basically, it's the same. Be prepared for change. You've earned it. It is here, and fortune is on your side. And speaking of fortune being on your side, the angel blessings for this evening. Angel Casios blessing the collective with love, which shock and awe that this would be in alignment with synchronistically with the theme of the night. And then Angel Raphael blessing the collective with opportunity. I love, no pun intended, maybe pun intended, this message for everybody and that opportunity coming in for everyone to be receptive of love and to be able to give love. So that's the midweek collective, making sure you claim your angel blessings right there in the comment section below. The angels always want to work with you and through you, but they respect your free will. I know I'm claiming it. Let's go. Okay, bringing Igor back on. Okay, Igor, what are you thinking about this message from the midweek collective?
Very in alignment, especially the part of meditation part was very true. That's one of the messages I received as well. It's very important to sit with yourself. Like you mentioned, it's if you cannot meditate, there are so many great tools out there, being in nature. And one of the greatest tool is breath work. Breath work will definitely help you reconstruct and reactivate your blood cells and get that blood rushing in the body so you can update your DNA structure and your electrons within yourself.
Beautifully said, friend. Thank you so very much for all of your thoughts and being here. Let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are, if there's anything highlighted in this message for you this week. And of course, claiming your angel blessings. I saw Luz claim hers. So that's for Luz. Thank you, everybody, so much for being here. Make sure that you guys are also jumping in here Sunday night when I come back and do all of your horoscopes for all of your signs for the week. We'll do another energy clearing. We'll have an adventure for the day or a question. And we're here to inspire you every Wednesday and Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. You can find us anywhere. This is live streaming, Roku, Amazon, Apple TV, Android TV, the E360 TV app, the website, And if you need me, please email me at divineencounters@e360tv.com. So let me just sit for a moment and figure out what I learned from today's episode. Thank you, Igor, so much for being here. And let's wrap this episode up con mucho amor. Do you or someone you know experience something supernatural that has left a positive impact on yourself or the lives of others? Want to share your story on our show? Please email divineencounters@e360tv.com. And together, let's create divine experiences. And now, the Oracle's final thoughts con mucho amor. See, this is what I'm learning today. One is that I have an echo. Are we good now? No, still an echo. Hold on, guys. And that's the price you pay for not hitting mute on the receiver. So what I learned today was that there are no mistakes. We are going to keep manifesting people into our lives. And once they exit, we have to lovingly let them go, lest we want to repeat the same lesson again with our future partners. Also, understanding that twin flames don't have to be toxic. Who knew? Go figure. If you're working on yourself and they're actively working on yourself, there's plenty to be learned. And if you so happen to see a random person in your third eye reaching out for you, don't be afraid to go explore it. It is not the end of the world if they are not a physical match, because everybody is in a different state of learning. But just remember not to judge people on the chapter of the book that you're currently reading, because you haven't gotten to the end of it yet. None of us have. Allow yourself to be a masterpiece and a work of art that is always continuously progressing, and an unfinished one at that. Give yourself permission to try, experience, and express. I hope you guys learned something from this episode today, because I definitely have, and I love doing this for all of you each week. Thank you for pouring into yourselves, expanding yourself. So may you all go forward and create divine experiences. To know thyself, love thyself, and remember the divine always has your back. Ciao!
Everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels so much, just remember. Just remember.